It was in 1959 that I returned from Mumbai after graduating in accounts. I distinctly remember that I landed on Friday, came by ship, and on next Monday, I went to the office. The desk and the chair was waiting for me to sit. And this was because of the family business. I didn't have to ask where I'm sitting. I was shown my desk that this is where you will sit and start the work under one senior person. From there, that was the day I started my career, and this is also the same time that the seeds of Safal were planted, because at that time we had already been in galvanized business, because we used to import galvanized coils, cut them into lengths, corrugate them, and sell in the market. When I joined, already the company was in the steel sheet manufacturing business, and they were importing galvanized coils from Japan and cut to length, corrugate them and sell. At the same time, Chanderia family as well has a plant in Dar es Salaam doing the similar thing. And it was in September 1961 that both the families came to an arrangement that we will share the East African market. Then we were doing this, thereafter we set up a galvanizing plant in Mombasa in 1963, and Chanderia family also set up a galvanizing plant in Dar es Salaam at the same time. After a couple of years, or 1 year later, there are two competitors who came into market. They also started galvanizing plants in Mombasa. So there was a severe competition. In order to protect us, because we had a vision that we want to grow beyond galvanized sheets, we tied up with an agreement with them in 1965. So they imported the goods, gave us for corrugation, and the market was done jointly. And the fact that the family most of the family members were in the same business in Mombasa. And we were at one time about 10 of us working in Mombasa in the same business. But everybody's function was different. I was doing the accounts, other one was doing, there were technical people, and then the marketing, then there was a warehouse. Somebody would take warehouse, charge of warehouse and all that. The involvement of family was such that everybody, all the individual family members compensated well in terms of his living. Although there was a little bit of seniority. Basically compensation was based on also partly on seniority. When we set up this cold roll mill in Mariakani in the 80s, I had a lot of work in Nairobi with our partners Chanderia, and that made me come to Nairobi almost every week. And then I decided, and our first family decided, that I should move to Nairobi. So I moved to Nairobi almost as early as 1987. But first I was alone for a year, and then my family joined me. But I used to go up and down to Mombasa. that time. The Mabatis were that time sent by lorries up countries. Most of the transport was by lorries, even at that time. Also, we had a railway siding at the plant near the, railway siding at the plant. So some of these seats were sent by railway to upcountry and to Uganda as well. In Uganda, yes, we started this galvanizing plant in 1968. That time it was, of course, my cousin Suli Shah and Harry Bhai, they were involved in this setup of the plant. And his elder brother also was in Kampala, but that time this Kampala office was only trading office. Our plant was in Toronto. The Chandaria set up a plant in Kampala at the same time. There was 2 plants in Kenya, 2 plants in Uganda, and 1 plant in Tanzania. So they were all together within the group. There were 5 plants. There were separate entities for manufacturing, but the final product was marketed together. The company called Calcit Cells Limited, which was headed by Nilesh dad, Kishore Bhai, that time. The most important part of this family business is that when you have, first of all, the family as a culture, and then when an outsider, you get an outsider to work for you, you also explain what is the family culture to the new person. Because he's a new one, he doesn't know what the family stands for. And to impart that understanding to the outsider, it is important to interact with the new person, and also at the same time allow them to act independently. We believed in the ethics, first of all, I said, but ethics means we have to be honest to ourselves, and if we are honest, then our employees also become honest with dealing with the customers. And we also shared the information with these employees, senior employees, so that they understand us. The sharing and caring were both important for the family to move forward. At least one thing we did was that whatever the equipment we had for the manufacturing of the iron sheets were the best quality equipment we had. So the product which we produce also the best in the market. Even today, when you look at Safal, we are the leader in the market because the product which is manufactured by Safal Group at the moment. And when you go into the countryside and talk to the people, they say they don't do mujaz. They know this product is the best in the market. Recently I was in Lamu, and there was some distributor of uric acid there, and we're getting his product from one of our competitors. So I asked him, why don't you keep Mabati product? He said, simple reason, price. Your quality is the best, but unfortunately your price doesn't match because this guy gives us cheaper than you. But the quality of Mabati product is the best. One thing is important, that we always get one step forward than our competitors. As today again, we probably in that stage, and I think that we should also add more products to our range, which we are still missing. If we add it, we will be the one group which is supplying so many products at the same time. I was looking after the accounts in the company. So this is going back to this coffee boom in 1970s, when the demand for Babati was very strong. So Steel Africa Limited had imported double the quantity of raw material than normally required. And the payment for those goods had bunched up. The amount required was double than what our overdraft allowed us to use. So I went to the bank manager in Mombasa in the morning, and I said we need double the amount of what we have sanctioned so far, and we need it within next few days. He contacted the Nairobi boss, but unfortunately he was not in the office. And he said, okay, Suli, go ahead and lunch, and I'll call you back in the afternoon. And I got a call at afternoon, and he says your extra amount has been sanctioned for next 4 months. This was without any further security, it was only with the word of mouth. The trust the bank had in the business was very paramount. I will never forget that. Today you have to walk into bank and ask for money. I don't think they will lend you 10, 20,000 shillings without security. This was possible because we had built, we were in good relationship with our suppliers, our customers, our bankers, our utility providers, all that we had kept good relationship. And when you say that business all the time, if you are busy in the office and do not spend some social time outside your work, I think the most important point is we should innovate and take the advantage of new technology.